Hello traders and Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, coming to you from the digital studios of Market Club. Well, here's Apple. They have their worldwide developers conference going on right now in California. They showed a lot of the new things they were doing, and it hasn't made a lot of difference to the stock. As a matter of fact, the stock is down again today. It's been down several days in a row, actually about 5 days, you can see right here, and it's getting towards the lower end of its trading range, and this is what I want to show you. So if we just put a box around this, you can see pretty much where Apple becomes a pretty valuable market to just buy, and that's around 24. I think we're not going to go that far this time. I think we'll probably see where we are, stay pretty much where we are now, and start to go back up again, because we need to get this line, the RSI line, over 50 to get this thing running. Plus, we need to get this trade triangle green before we get excited. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, we're still longer term positive on Apple because of this line right here, this trade triangle, I should say, this trade triangle right here, which is positive, indicating much higher levels. And that's kicked in at $66.53. So you can see even now it's still pretty much double what the signal came in at. So let's go on to our next market. Next market we're looking at is SFUN Holdings. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but SFUN is the symbol, and it has a plus 100. That gave a signal yesterday at $8.71. So it's not an expensive stock, so you have to remember that. It's $8.68, so you could actually get in at the buy level yesterday, and the key thing is, for me here, is to see it close in new high ground. I think that would be very, very positive for the stock. So we are bullish. We also have a situation where the market is still not super overbought. You can see right here we're still in the midpoint around the 60 level in this particular RSI indicator. So again, all of our trade triangles right here are all positive, indicating higher levels. This seems to be like a pretty good one to be looking at to get long. It's not an expensive stock, so be careful. Don't load up just as a portion of your portfolio as opposed to all of your portfolio. Next stock we're looking at came in yesterday right here at $6.74. Not an expensive stock. It's very overbought, however, and I would wait for some sort of pullback before you do anything in this stock. I don't think I'd jump in right now and buy. I think you could see an opportunity for this stock to come back down and then be a purchaser. But right now, all the trade triangles are positive, looking for a pullback, and if we get that, then we want to be a buyer. Now we're looking at the Dow. You can see the Dow had a signal a couple of days ago indicating that the pressure was on the downside, but this is again very similar to Apple in terms of it's a big square, or I should say a oblong. You can see it's kind of found support right here before, and I think it's going to find support even today's action. If you see today's action, we do close higher for the day. I think most of the downward momentum and pressure is off this index for the time being. But nonetheless, be careful. We are below the 50 level in the RSI, and also you have a signal on the weekly intermediate term trend trade triangle to be on the sidelines. Pretty much the same picture in the S&P 500. You can see this again. We had this big sort of trading range, and you could put it down there. You could put another one right in there somewhere. So again, it's sort of chop, chop, chop. Really, you're below the 50 line. Also with RSI and the trade triangle red, I would be on the sidelines here, but it would appear to me like you're going to see a bounce from these levels, particularly if we close higher. I think today could well be a low day in this market. I would, cycle-wise, I think you could look to see where the lows have been in this market, and you could cycle it out in terms of where we are. So there's a low here, a low here, and a low here, and a low here. So I think if you looked at these cycles and a low here, so if you looked at these cycles, you could well be in that rhythm, and this could be a low period right now. But I'd be very careful about jumping in to do anything, but I do think we'll see a bounce from current levels. The Nasdaq is a little bit stronger, has been a little bit stronger, I should say, but we're still in that sort of similar pattern where we're in this box, and we haven't gotten really out of it in any way, shape, or form. You can see right there. But I think today, if we close higher in the Nasdaq, we'll see this market come back. I think that's definitely, without question in my mind, the strongest index that we're seeing. But we did have a signal at 5,016. It's 5,005 right now. So you can see that signal came in yesterday. You can see it's still not out of the red woods. Watch the RSI. That's going to be probably the first thing that turns up over 50, and that could be your indication you see a little bounce in this index. Gold, same pattern. Really, it's been a boring couple of months here with most of the markets. If you just look at the gold, you can see it's just in the same big sort of broad trading range. Really not much going on there. And again, I would be a little bit careful, but longer term, we may see this market going higher, but we have our both of these signals here are not good for gold right now. This is crude oil. Crude oil, again, a couple of things here. The monthly's positive. We've talked about this before. The monthly trade trial is positive. Only the weekly is negative, and that turned at 57.93. We're currently at 60. We're back over $60. The RSI line is back over 50, which is an indication that the trend should be going higher. And you still, as I say, we pointed out this last week, you had a move in terms of a market move. You had the big move up, which we showed you before, and we said at the time we thought this is just sort of like a lullaby to rest and possibly go higher. No one knows what's going to happen in the Middle East. That's very clear from what the president said last night. We do not have a strategy, which is quite remarkable in my mind, but nonetheless, the crude oil is longer term positive. Watch the weekly trade triangle. If that kicks in green, you want to get long. Lastly, on the euro, you're over the 50 line. Again, this is a positive sign in my book. We're over the 50 line. That's the first indication you see more strength. But watch the weekly. That's the key level here. If you see the weekly turn green, then you want to be buying the euro, selling the dollar. That's what we're thinking is going to happen. So let's see how that plays out. But again, it would look as though you're still in this very broad consolidation. And maybe if Greece decides it wants to get out of the Eurozone, that may be a very positive thing. At least it's something that's been unsettling the market that's being settled. That's the way to look at it. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison for Market Club. Thanks so much for watching this video today. Every success, and please leave a comment below this video if you have any thoughts on any of these markets today. Have a great trading day, everyone.